10 years ago, there was a major event that happened to humanity, when an unfortunate biological company exploded and released a virus that allowed humans to see phantoms, entities that only exist in the imagination. Haruhiko is a first-year student at Hosea Academy, currently being awakened by a fairy-type phantom named Ruru because he is late for class. But more importantly, Haruhiko's teammate Mai is facing a rather ferocious fire-type phantom alone at school. Fortunately, when Haruhiko arrived, Mai was still fighting. He quickly sketched the phantom's shape into the drawing book in his hand, then used his special ability to seal it, allowing Mai to use the ability to control the 5 elements to defeat the phantom. Despite completing the assigned task, but accidentally destroying the school clock, this time Haruhiko's E-team did not receive the reward, causing a self-sufficient student like Mai to have a problem with living expenses. In addition, their team is also ranked last in the leaderboard, so Mai thinks that it is necessary to recruit more members to increase the strength of the team. On the way back, Haruhiko passed a graveyard he had never seen before, and quickly realized it was an illusion created by a phantom. Discovering that a female student was trapped inside, Haruhiko was about to rush to the rescue when the girl suddenly opened her mouth and swallowed the phantom into her stomach, surprising him. Seeing such a power for the first time, Haruhiko hurriedly approached and learned that the girl's name was Reina. After that, he rushed to invite Reina to join her team, scaring her because she thought he was a pervert. Finally, thanks to a full meal, Haruhiko managed to convince Reina to become a member of Team E, and quickly brought her to meet Mai. Next, the three received a mission to deal with a horde of phantoms in the form of electric poles, which were causing a lot of trouble for the people. Initially, Mai intends to use force to deal with them, but their ability to shock makes her inaccessible. Due to her frequent reading, Haruhiko was able to recognize the dance of the phantoms, and learned that the 3 of them had to overcome the challenge they posed, if they were to be able to solve this. Haruhiko and Reina failed in turn, leaving Mai alone. But with her ingenuity, Mai finally successfully overcame the phantom poles test, causing them to voluntarily let Reina suck her into her stomach. After completing the pole mission, Team E is asked by the club president to assist a new transfer student, Minace, on a mission at an abandoned factory. Originally a candidate for the Phantom Control Bureau, Minace possesses extremely superior abilities. But because of that, she often acts alone, so the club owner wanted the group to help Minace learn how to work with others. Right now at the factory, Minace is really having a hard time when her powerful sonar powers are somehow completely ineffective against the phantom robot in front of her. Fortunately, when the drones were about to attack Minace, Mai was there in time to stop it, and Haruhiko as the brains of the team was also quick to point out that Minace's power was disabled because the other phantom was made a sound that was out of phase with hers. Receiving Haruhiko's instructions, Mai immediately broke the speaker on the robot's head, allowing Minace to use sound waves to tie up the drones for Reina to swallow them. At the same time, Mai also used firebending to break through the phantom robot's defenses, allowing Haruhiko to seal it inside her drawing. Although they had just joined together to fight very well, Minace still coldly said that he would share the reward equally with everyone, then turned his back and left first. While wandering around, Ruru found a strange device, so he brought it back for Haruhiko to study. Since Reina was currently in charge of sealing the phantom in the team, Haruhiko thought that she should focus on practicing her phantom summoning skills to fight. He immediately got a chance to practice, when Team E was given a mission to defeat a phantom that specializes in spying at the girls' dormitory. However, the 3 of them waited for a long time without the object appearing, so the 2 girls decided to kick Haruhiko out of the room and start changing. Sure enough, the phantom appeared, but its speed was too fast for the 2 girls to catch. Haruhiko ran in to help but was thrown out the window by Mai again. When he returned a second time, he was stabbed by Reina and continued to be thrown out. It wasn't until the 3rd time that Haruhiko had a chance to summon the beast of hell, but somehow completely different from the drawing. What he called out was an extremely cute inner-winged cotton ball. Although not as powerful as imagined, Haruhiko's puppy was still fast enough to catch the lustful phantom, allowing Reina to swallow it. Later, upon seeing Haruhiko's finger bleeding, Reina displayed another of her special powers, quickly healing his wounds. In the next mission, the party's opponent is a pair of phantoms possessing extremely skilled fighting abilities. However, it seems that these phantoms are only aimed at Mai, and have no intention of causing trouble with others. After their first encounter, Mai eats an onion, after which she decides to train Haruhiko and Reina so they can both fight together. However, after a while of practice, Mai realizes that neither of them are suitable for fighting, but Haruhiko comes up with the idea to find a way to access and copy Mai's memories, thereby making herself master her fighting skills. Surprisingly, homeroom teacher Himeno also agreed with this idea, as she considered the fact that Haruhiko could summon phantoms as proof of his ability to link up with metaphysical entities. So Himeno thinks that Haruhiko's idea still has the potential to work, and advises him to take Mai to the places she used to go as a child, to find a way to share memories. Although Himeno's method didn't really work after that, it accidentally helped Mai remember some forgotten things. According to Mai, when she was a preschool student, she was a very shy child and had no friends, until one day two strangers came to talk to her and became her best friends right there. This lawn. While reminiscing, two phantoms suddenly appeared. Mai immediately and Haruhiko rushed into battle even though he couldn't copy any memories, and of course they were eaten by the phantom pair. However, in the process, the two accidentally bumped into each other, and Haruhiko actually succeeded in copying Mai's memories, allowing him to summon the earth element combined with Mai's release. Decisive blow to defeat the other pair of phantoms. By this time, Mai has remembered everything. She knows that the two old friends just want to meet again to see if Mai has really grown up or not. Finally, the happy phantom couple said goodbye to Mai and then slowly disappeared into petals gently blowing in the wind. After successfully completing the quests consecutively, the group was rewarded with a full meal just as Reina wished. The past few days going to school and fighting alongside Haruhiko and Mai made Reina feel very happy, the complete opposite of the heavy feeling of having to go home. Reina's parents are very strict people, and they are also averse to Reina having special powers. While thinking, suddenly a strange bus appeared out of nowhere. Despite some doubts, Reina finally chose to get in the car and was immediately hypnotized. When she regained consciousness, she stood in front of her house. The next morning, Reina told the group about last night's story. All of them were still confused about the reason. When Menace suddenly walked over and confirmed that the bus was actually a phantom capable of mind manipulation. So the group decided to wait together for the strange bus to help Reina get rid of those hallucinations. Right at the same time as yesterday, the bus appeared again. Reina immediately got on the bus unconsciously even though Haruhiko loudly prevented it. With no other choice, he was forced to follow to protect her. In this world, Reina has a happy home with her parents, a rabbit couple, both of whom love her very much, and the family meal is always filled with laughter. Haruhiko immediately lost consciousness as soon as she tasted a piece of rice, and grew two rabbit ears on her head like Reina. Just like that, the two were immersed in happiness in the virtual world, and when they woke up, they were once again standing in front of Reina's house. The next morning, the group meets again to discuss a solution, because both Reina and Haruhiko lost consciousness when they were immersed in the virtual world, so this time Mai will be forced to get in the car to rescue them both. However, like Haruhiko, Mai was also persuaded by the rabbit couple to taste the food, so the rabbit family had another member. That night, while the family was chatting happily, Haruhiko was about to go to the toilet when suddenly regained consciousness. It turns out that in fairy tales, the toilet is originally a portal to another world, so it's easier to escape the illusion if you enter it. After a while of persuasion, even resorting to metamorphosis, Haruhiko successfully returned Reina to her normal state. When she calmed down, Reina finally understood that this hallucination was born from a desire to have a happy family that she did not have in real life. The rabbit couple, after learning that Reina was awake, also admitted everything. However, they also really love her, so they let her choose between returning to the real world with everyone or going with them into the dream world. In a moment of weakness, Reina really wanted to sink into the virtual world to have a real home, but then Mai and Haruhiko's rationality and affection made her make the final decision to return to the world. Real. All illusions instantly disappeared. Later that day Reina mustered the courage to let her parents know about her joining the Phantom Drum Club, and thankfully they respected her decision. Menace currently still unable to improve her relationship with those around her. At this time she is alone on a mission to fight a phantom that destroys pet areas in many schools. Quickly go to the pet area of Hosea Academy, which is managed by a little girl named Kurumi. Menace decided to ambush here, and of course the other phantom appeared. As the fierce battle was going on, Haruhiko accidentally passed by and tried to help Menace. However, because he was too clumsy, he made Menace rush to block the attack instead, thereby causing her to inhale poisonous gas and lose her pulse. The little girl Kurumi standing to the side saw this and called for her teddy bear to turn into a giant to protect the two. Soon, Mai and Reina also quickly arrived. The phantom, sensing the unfavorable situation, turned and left. Returning to the living room, Minase's stubborn attitude of refusing to cooperate made Mai very uncomfortable, so Mai decided to compete in this mission. With no other choice, teacher Himeno had to organize a contest between the two. See who can destroy the phantom first will receive a worthy reward. Feeling guilty for making Minase incapacitated, Haruhiko and Ruru decide to support her, while Mai's team will consist of Reina and the reserve member, Little Kurumi. Actually, this is not the first time Minase has encountered the three-headed phantom, but when she was in elementary school, she encountered it. At that time, Minase was still a normal student and had many friends, but the appearance of this phantom forced her to awaken the power to prevent it. However, that power was so great that all teachers, friends, and even Minase's family were afraid, and decided to hand her over to the National Phantom Control Bureau. While listening to the story, Haruhiko received a call from Ruru that Minase was chasing the phantom. Although her power had returned, Minase was still overcome by the monster's poisonous smoke. Fortunately, Haruhiko and the others appeared in time to work together to defeat the three-headed phantom and successfully sealed it in the drawing book. The next morning, as soon as she stepped out of the house, Haruhiko found Minase waiting at the door. She shyly thanked Haruhiko and turned away blushing, leaving him bewildered because she still didn't understand what had just happened. After being able to fight with Team E, Kurumi felt very happy but also a little stressed because she was afraid that she would not be able to contribute much to the team. Her anxiety causes her to fall inside an imaginary world, and coincidentally drags Haruhiko along. Here, Kurumi is the only surviving princess of a kingdom, and is being hunted by the enemy Solomon as a wife. And the bear Albrecht that Kurumi often holds in her arms is the chief knight, who is always responsible for her safety. Moments later at Albrecht's home, Haruhiko guessed that the place they were in was Kurumi's inner world. Perhaps because she was under some kind of pressure in the real world, she unconsciously brought herself here. Kurumi then received from Albrecht the golden rake, the royal treasure she had just dropped, and had to flee again because the name Solomon had chased him with his subordinates. Albrecht intended to stay behind and hold off the enemy so Haruhiko could lead Kurumi away. But soon he was hit by an arrow again. Fortunately there were still a set of mushroom traps prepared in advance. When he finally saw Albrecht get injured while protecting him, Kurumi was determined to stand up and fight. Then, thanks to the power of the golden rake, she successfully smashed Solomon's robot bear, causing him to be afraid to surrender, returning peace to the whole kingdom. At this moment, Kurumi and Haruhiko were dragged back to the real world, and she now has the courage to become a full member of Team E. Recently, the students in Hosea High School don't understand why. Why begin to appear the behavior of cats such as eating fish and curling up all day? Meanwhile, Kurumi's best friend's pet cat is lost, so the group decides to help the youngest sister solve this. However, during the search, the members became more and more cat-like, and Reina, Minase and Mai even grew ears and tails. Minase then told everyone, perhaps these strange stories originated from the abandoned school dormitory, where there used to be a lot of feral cats and people who loved them. However, due to the deterioration of the interior, the school has now decided to seal the entire villa to ensure the safety of students. The group decided to break into it to investigate, by the way to find the cat for Kurumi, without knowing that the whole house was actually a giant phantom. This phantom has no intention of harming anyone. Just because the mansion is sealed makes it miss the days when humans and cats played together here. That's why when the cat got lost inside, he decided to make all the students around him cursed to turn into cats, hoping to recreate the bustling scene before. Knowing this, Reina and Kurumi tried to convince the phantom to return everything to normal. The group then spends a day cleaning and remodeling the mansion, so it can reopen to host cat lovers like it once was. After successfully summoning the puppy, Haruhiko was researching how to summon a new phantom, when Ruru rushed in to announce that a giant monkey had just dug a hot spring right in the schoolyard. Haruhiko was unable to sketch this phantom because its lower body was still submerged in water, and Reina was also powerless as she could only swallow enemies if they were already weakened. Due to the heat of the hot springs preventing students from attending class, all groups in the Phantom Drum Club were mobilized to solve the problem. However, the monkey possesses tremendous power, easily dispelling all attacks of the students. Unable to fight directly, the group decided to switch to using beauty tricks to lure the monster to the shore, allowing Haruhiko to sketch and seal the monkey. But in turn, Reina, Kurumi and even Minase were not the role models she liked. Finally, after doing some research, Haruhiko also discovered that male monkeys are especially attracted to female monkeys with a red rump. He begs Mai to try one last time, and promises to rescue her before the monkey tries to break the game. With no other choice, Mai reluctantly agreed, but unfortunately later, Haruhiko's notebook was smeared with ink, forcing him to try summoning the phantom with his bare hands. Surprisingly, on the first try, Haruhiko successfully summoned a giant octopus. Not only quickly saved Mai, but also threw the monkey ashore, creating conditions for Minace to tie it up. After finding out, the whole group knew that this phantom was actually just sad because his wife left him. So everyone decided to have a wedding for her, and the one chosen as the bride was Haruhiko. Although it is not known where Haruhiko was taken by the monkeys, at least Hosea Academy is back to normal, and Team E completes one more difficult mission. Once she was accidentally stepped on by Haruhiko because she was too small. Ruru wished that she could grow up to experience the life of a normal person. Just then, a phantom suddenly appeared in front of Ruru, claiming to be a witch who can make the wishes of other phantoms come true. After pondering for a while, Ruru expressed her wish to be a normal girl, in exchange for losing her ability to fly. The witch then gives Ruru a necklace so that no one can recognize her, and it is also something that will help her keep her human form. The next morning, Ruru enters the same class as Haruhiko as a new transfer student named Natsuo. After that, he chose to join the Phantom Club so that he could live with everyone. Relying on her rich imagination, Ruru made up a sad story about her past that moved everyone to tears. Thanks to that, she was brought to the fireworks festival by the group to cheer up. At the festival, the group encounters a fireworks phantom that is causing a stir. Ruru discovered that the other phantom was wearing the same necklace as her, so she knew it was so big because of the help of the witch she had met. With no other choice, Ruru removed the necklace to return to its original small form, and quickly followed the firework. After using her mind-bending technique for a while, she successfully persuaded the fireworks phantom to fly away, so as not to endanger others. At the same time, through what just happened, Ruru also learns that Haruhiko still cares about her very much. One evening, Haruhiko was trying to repair a mysterious device that Ruru brought back, when he accidentally saw a box containing memorabilia from his childhood, the most special of which was an essay telling the story of his whole family go play together. The next morning, Haruhiko wakes up to go to school as usual. However, his body and mind are now back to when he was 6 years old. Haruhiko rushed to Hosea Elementary School and entered the classroom, but all the students and teachers didn't know who he was. Coincidentally, Kurumi passed by and recognized Haruhiko, so she took him to meet the team. After confirming that the child in front of them as Haruhiko shrunk, the group decides to go to his house to find out the cause, and Mai is chosen to be Haruhiko's temporary caretaker, until he becomes a child. Back to the old shape. Having to go to school, work, and take care of Haruhiko at the same time made Mai completely exhausted. Knowing that he was bothering Mai, the young Haruhiko also wanted to help, but nowhere would accept an elementary school student. That night, Mai discovered Haruhiko was shivering in the blanket for fear of thunder, but still acting strong in front of her. Then the two sat down to talk to each other and gradually became close. The next day, the sisters were playing happily in the park. Suddenly, a sand phantom emerged. Mai immediately brought Haruhiko to safety and rushed towards the enemy. However, perhaps due to working too hard these days, Mai suddenly fell and was controlled by the other phantom. Seeing that, Haruhiko ran over but was immediately sent flying. He was helpless and thought that if he hadn't been a child, maybe things would have been different. Right at this time, a miracle happened to help Haruhiko restore his body. He quickly summoned a giant octopus to blow away the monster, in time to free Mai. Sometime later at Haruhiko's house, Mai accidentally reads the text in the memorabilia box and learns that Haruhiko really longs for the warmth of her family. After a whole semester of hard work, Haruhiko's group somehow became the school's highest-scoring phantom hunting team. All of them thought they were going to enjoy their summer vacation, when suddenly a new phantom appeared with the name Enigma, possessing intellectual property not inferior to humans, and capable of depriving the family of powers. As they are. While chatting together on their way home, Team E accidentally encountered Enigma attacking a group of schoolgirls, and draining their powers through a kiss of death. Mai and Minace immediately rushed to attack, while Haruhiko summoned the giant octopus. After that, the Enigma gradually gained the upper hand and was sealed into the notebook by Haruhiko. However, things are not so simple, as the Enigma's sealed image slowly fades and then disappears completely. After a while with no news of Enigma, Haruhiko suddenly received a phone call from the mother who abandoned him in the past. At the park, Haruhiko's mother said that since the day she left him, she felt very regretful and watched him from afar, but didn't have the courage to meet him. At first hearing these words, Haruhiko didn't react at all. But when he saw his mother saying goodbye to leave, he was afraid that he would regret it like when he was a child, so he ran to forgive her mistakes. Since the day his mother was with him, Haruhiko became much happier. He liked to do daily tasks with his mother to the point of neglecting group duties. Feeling something was off and curious about Haruhiko's mother, the girls visited in person to find out the situation. During the meal, Haruhiko's mother appeared to be a very cheerful and sociable person, causing all the girls to sympathize with her. However, right after the meal, Mai received a call from Miss Himeno and learned that Haruhiko's mother might have been possessed by the enigma. However, it was all too late. Enigma, knowing that it had been exposed, knocked the girls down, then stole Haruhiko's special powers with a kiss, then left his mother's body and flew away. Pass away. After being possessed by the enigma, Haruhiko's mother was severely injured and hospitalized in a coma. At the hospital, Haruhiko met her mother's current husband and listened to him tell that Haruhiko's mother had always been tormented and sorry for him since leaving, and her inseparable object was inside was a notebook with a picture of mother and daughter together. Meanwhile, Minace is working with the Phantom Division to investigate the enigma's whereabouts, and she discovers that the Aleyashiki company seems to be hiding something about the Phantom. Suddenly remembering that the device to log into the company's system was located at Haruhiko's place, she immediately returned and asked him to quickly repair it. With the help of the bear Albrecht, the group successfully accessed Aleyashiki's data system, and learned that the enigma is actually an artificial phantom. This company has quietly gathered the special powers of students, and then performed enhancement experiments on phantoms, in order to turn them into advanced military weapons. Enigma is the most successful product of this project. However, its wisdom and strength were beyond Aleyashiki's control, and now Enigma was planning to absorb all kinds of the most powerful abilities, in order to be able to rule the whole world. Just then Minace received a message that Enigma was attacking Aleyashiki's research center, in order to obtain the data of all the phantoms stored there, to combine with the summoning abilities she had stolen from Haruhiko. The team quickly arrived at the headquarters. However, due to the absorption of many different superpowers, the power of the enigma was almost unstoppable. With just a wave of her hand, she easily dispels the combined attack of the four girls, and at the same time knocks them all apart. Despite losing all of her strength, Haruhiko bravely stepped forward to shield her comrades. Witnessing his actions, the enigma transformed into Haruhiko's mother and said that it would be fun to end him in this form. Just as the enigma was about to strike, Himeno suddenly shouted to Haruhiko that Ruru was a phantom born from his own body, so she could pass her powers to Haruhiko through a kiss, just like how that enigma did. There was no other way, the two quickly kissed, and Haruhiko's power was truly back, even more powerful than before many times. As Haruhiko was now able to easily summon both summoned beasts at the same time, moreover, in their ultimate form. Relying on the immense power of the two summoned beasts, Haruhiko easily blew away the enigma's newly summoned phantoms, and forced her to return to her true form. Then, with the help of the girls on the team, Enigma was temporarily halted, allowing Haruhiko to use the sealing technique, freezing the enigma's entire body in a crystal, and finally defeated by Mai. After the battle ended, Haruhiko was finally reunited with his real mother. Meanwhile, Aleyashiki company has been investigated. The group after the war also understood each other better and became more and more connected, ready to deal with all the difficult tasks that lie ahead. This anime synopsis ends here. If you find the video interesting, don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below to support me. Thank you very much. See you in the next summary.